What was it like coming out to your parents? Alright, you guys, it's boy Tony the Rex, and I am here with the one, the only, Notorious.
Also known as Refugio, aka Refugio.
Oh, we love an AKA.
Yep.
So, Notorious, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. How about you?
I'm feeling good.
Good.
You know, normally people don't ask me on this, you know, like how I'm feeling.
Always.
Nah, but thank you. I appreciate that. So, you've been in LA for how many years now?
I've been in LA for going on 13 years now.
13
yes.
years.
So I feel like I'm a resident.
You are?
Yeah.
This is home.
Exactly.
Alright, and you have been out of the closet for a while. Would you say or no?
I would say yes. I came out of the closet when I was like 18 years old in high school. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're Latino?
Yes, Latino, Mexican.
Alright. So we got a fellow Latino brother in here. Just so you guys know, this is the first time that we meet.
Yeah.
This is the first time that we interact and we sit down and we talk. And I want to know a little bit more backstory on you.
Okay.
Now I'm going to ask you a question and I hope you feel comfortable talking about this.
Of course.
Hopefully you do. What was it like coming out to your parents?
So coming out to my parents, it was a little hard because I kind of felt like I was forced into coming out. Like I wasn't like, I didn't have the opportunity to tell my parents, like sit them down and be like, hey, you know, guys, I'm gay, you know, like everybody.
So wait, I'm gonna stop you really quick. Would you consider yourself gay or bisexual?
Bisexual.
Bisexual?
Yeah. Bisexual.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. So, you know, at that time I was in high school and I had formed a crush on this guy. His name was John. And he had like, this was back in the day when there was no cell phone, so you were writing letters back and forth to people. That's all I know.
Okay.
Stop. No. So yeah, you were writing letters back and forth, and every time your period would change, you would like pass the letter on and whatever, and like we were kind of like getting to know each other, and I'd known him for a long time, and he was like starting to catch feelings for me, and we would talk on the phone and everything, and I don't know, like I guess like he had started to see this girl who also went to our high school. So I found that out like through a letter he had written me, and it kind of just, I saw red. Like I was like, what the hell? Like I'm like, me and this girl kind of had an exchange of words outside, and you know, she ended up telling the principal, and like I ended up getting in trouble. I ended up going to detention actually. And my parents, my principal called my parents and was like, your son was just in like a verbal altercation with another girl.
No.
And they were like, why? And he was like, oh, over some guy.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so then that's how I was like outed to my family, and they were like, my mom was like just bawling her eyes out. She was crying. She was like, it's my fault, blah blah blah. I should have never taken you to watch all those Disney movies. I should have never like let you play with Ken, and I should have never let you play with like your Selena dolls and all this and that.
What?
And my dad was like infuriated. Like I've never seen him so angry before in my life, because he's like a cholo, like back in the old school days. Like he was like slanging drugs and shit, and he went to prison for like 10 years. So he was like, yeah, he was hard, and he's like, yeah, we used to make fun of gay guys and like beat them up and stuff just for being gay, and like, and he was like pissed. He was like, you're not my son, you know, you are like, I don't know you, blah blah blah. Like, why would you choose this lifestyle and all this and that? And so.
And you were a kid.
I was a kid. Yeah, I was a kid.
You were a kid.
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know any better. I didn't even know like, I didn't even know how to have sex. Basically,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was a pretty traumatic experience, to say the least. And but I mean, fast forward to today. I mean, my mom and I have the best relationship, and you know, I basically told my parents like, you're either gonna accept me for who I am, and you're gonna accept all of me and whoever I bring around, just like you do my brother and his girlfriends, or you're going to, you know, shut me out of your life and not have a kid. And my mom was not willing to take that risk. So she's like, you know what, you're my favorite son, and I love you so much, and I just can't imagine my life without you.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you feel looking back at that now? Like I'm sure things have passed.
Oh yeah, but looking at that kid and how scared he was, and just how like traumatized he was, and how like just like he didn't know anything. Like he didn't know what the world was going to be like after that, you know. And especially living in Texas, it's like a Republican state, you know, where everybody is bigoted and they're homophobic, and you know, it's like they do fight you for being gay over there. So, you know, it's a different world. That's why I moved here to California, because everyone's a little more open-minded and we have a little bit more, you know, you can be yourself here.
You definitely got freedom here.
Yeah.
How are things with you and your dad now? Like today?
Me and my dad, they're a little bit strained, but you know, we talk here and there. You know, it's not like my mom and I relationship where we're super close. We tell each other everything. My dad and I, we are, you know, kind of distant, but because he was really never there for my life, you know, like 10 years it was stripped away from him because of what he did, his choices he made. So
as far as
going to prison.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he just missed a big chunk of my life.
Before or after?
This was before.
Before, okay.
Yeah. I was a kid when he was locked up. So right when I was 18, you know, he was like getting out, but by that time, like I had already formed in my mind that I was moving to LA. Yeah. You know? So after that, we had no relationship, you know, and I'm so far away, you know, it's just hard to nurture something that, you know, was really never there in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I want to say I give you props for coming thus far. You know, things could have easily changed. You could have, you know, not accepted yourself. You could have stayed closeted. You could have listened to your parents and you know, lived the lives that they wanted you to live.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, and to the viewers out there, what would you recommend to someone else who is young, who might be Latino, you know, especially us Latinos? I know our parents, I'm not gonna say we have it the hardest, right? We don't have it the hardest, but Hispanic parents are definitely a lot tougher.
Yeah.
So what would you say to someone out there who's watching this, who's 17, 18, 19, who is afraid to come out because his parents might, you know, be sad, might disown him, their father might be upset? What would you say to that person?
I would just tell them, you know, like, to live your truth, first and foremost, to live your truth. And secondly, just like, you have to be yourself no matter what the consequences are from that. Because once you start doing that, I feel like your world is just open to like so many more possibilities and things. You know, your world is brighter. You can see things more clear. You know, like when I was living that lie back in the day, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm straight, bisexual, whatever, you know, and it's like, you know, I was just kind of like, I was not accepting the fact that I do like men also, you know what I'm saying? And I was just putting that so far down because that's what I was taught. We're taught that. Yeah. As we grow up, you know, it's like, oh, it's a phase, or why are you choosing this, or whatever. But, you know, it's not something that you choose. Like, why would somebody wake up and choose to be, you know, like, disowned by their parents, basically. Like, if I would have known the kind of reaction that I would have gotten from my dad, I would have never I would have never done anything, because then I would have been like, wow, because he really scared me. Yeah. You know, and he was like telling me I needed to get out of my grandmother's house and all this and that. My grandmother was like, you ain't going nowhere. You're staying right here. Like, I don't care what he says. Like, you're my grandson, you know? Damn. And so
Shout out to all the grandmas.
Oh, grandmas are most, and it's
Shout
crazy
out to all the grandmas.
they come before the generation that their kids have, and they know more than the kids, you know.
Facts.
And it's always grandparents that are like, like.
Shout out to the grandmas. Yeah. I remember when I told my grandma like about me, I had to make sure I told her it was from my mouth. Exactly. I was like, let me tell you, and then she looked at me and she was just like, "Está bien, mijo."
Exactly. That's what my grandma said too. She was like, "There's nothing like." I still love you, like, nothing's changed. Yeah. And she gave me the biggest hug, and like, yeah, it was totally complete opposite from my dad. And I was like, because I mean, she's from a generation where, like, you couldn't even be gay. You couldn't even talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, very hardcore, you know, like, machismo, like, very, like, you know, be a man, you know? And, yeah, that's how my dad was raised, so that's what he knew. But she totally opened me up, like, opened her home to me, because... You know, I had run away from my mom's house because I was just like, I didn't want to be around it. I didn't want to be around my parents, you know, especially after they were telling me all this stuff, like that I'm the reason, that they're the reason why I'm like this. Like, if it was some kind of like, it was like a, not a death sentence, but it was like some kind of like, you know, like a ball and chain around my, like, no, like, I'm living my life. Like, I actually feel better now. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it that parents are quick to blame themselves? Like,
Or not only that, but they also blame each other.
1000%. Like I think at one point, I feel like at one point my dad did blame my mom, and then my mom, in a way, till this day, which I love my mom to death, she's come around. She's come around, but till this day, she's like, she'll tell me like, I didn't raise you to be like that. And I'm like, you didn't raise me. You raised me the best way you can raise me. This had nothing to do with how you raised me. This is who I am. Like I didn't. It's nothing that you did. Anything that you would have done differently wouldn't have changed a thing.
Of course, like because you can't change your life.
You can't change.
This is not like I said in the beginning. We're not choosing anything. You get up and you choose what you're going to eat in the morning for breakfast because that's a choice. But you don't get to choose your partners or who you fall in love with or who you like attracted to. That's just not how it works. So and they had to understand that. And my mom was like, what got me is like, they had done all their stuff in their past and they had experimented. Like my mom was like, "Oh yeah, I was with the girl before, but I just knew I didn't like it." And all of a sudden, it doesn't make. So it's sense.
Okay for you to try it, but it's not okay for me to live it.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? And I said, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be, because being gay is way down on your conscience enough. Like you have to deal with the whole world. Like, and you think that the people that are closest to you are going to have your back and be there for you. That's the support you need at that time. But I'm just like, okay, I don't need extra shit, like, especially from my family. Like, oh hell no, like, I can. You talk about choice. I can choose to have you in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that was the thing that was like, okay, that was the wake up call for them. Like, oh shit, like I'm gonna lose from my dad, his only son, and from my mom, her favorite son. And it's just like, do I want to risk that? And the options were clear. It's like, you either live a life by yourself and miserable, or you have your son in your life. So. She picked the right side. I mean, I gotta say the same thing. I gave my mom the ultimatum where I was like, look, I'm like, I am your son. I am gay. I am proud to be gay. Like, if you are not going to accept me, or if I can't express myself, I'm literally gonna walk out that door. Of course, and I'm not gonna come back. Like, you're gonna lose me. And at the end of the day, it's gonna hurt for me, but I have to do this. And eventually, she was like. And I did it in front of my brother because my older brother was like the one to do it in front of. But I just want to say this to anyone out there, regardless of whether you're 17, 18, regardless of whether you're 25, 24, regardless of whether you're 30, 40, 50, live the life that you want to live for yourself. Don't live it for your mom or your dad. Like, of course, everybody wants to make their parents happy. Who doesn't want to make their parents happy? Like, who doesn't want to make their parents proud? But at the end of the day, it's like, are you willing to sacrifice living your life and living your authentic life for your parents? Exactly. So live the life that you want for yourself. 100%. Because they're always going to try to live their life through you because they didn't do what they should do. Say that one more time. Say that one more time. They're always going to try to live their life through you, and I see that in my mom and my dad. Facts. And I'm just like, this is my life to live. And I'm not gonna let somebody dictate what I'm gonna do or who I'm gonna love or who I'm gonna bring around. Like, I'm gonna have equal opportunity, just like my brother, who is straight, has there's no problem when he brings girls around and kissing them in front of them. So you know what? I'm like, same standards for everybody. As long as you ain't doing anything crazy in front of your parents, which is the same respect that anybody would give their parents. Yeah, that's where 1000%. Well, this was a great talk. This was definitely very helpful. It was great talking to you. It was actually really good talking to you. This is the first time we meet. This is the first time we hang out. So definitely expect more from him. If you guys want to follow him, please, his link is right here. Go to his Instagram, follow him on all his pages. Also, he does have a page where, a spicy page where there's less clothes and there's a little bit more action. So if you guys want to go check that out, click the link in his Instagram bio. Yeah. Oh wait, what about the... Should we tell him about that? I think we should. Next time. Alright, y'all. Thank you for the love, and definitely drop a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about next, and let me know what I should ask him next. Alright, that's it. I'm gonna head out. Yeah. So can you just break the lights down? Yeah. And just clean the couch a little bit? You cool with it? I'm being serious. 100%. Alright, I'm gonna head out. I got that. And make sure to lock up and then leave the key under my mat. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And no people over. Oh, no parties either. Not. Alright, I'll catch you later. Alright, see you. Peace. Alright.